whose parents are also known. If the child is not more than 7 years and the parent of the child is not known, then we presume that the child is a Ghanaian. This is what we call citizenship by presumption. Citizenship by presumption.
No battery, please charge.
Citizenship by presumption. Now, citizenship by presumption, we are referring to a situation where the child who is less than 7 years of age, and the child is found in Ghana. The child is 7 years of age. The child is found in Ghana. The parents are nowhere to be found. So here, the parent of the child nowhere to be found. So in this case, it gives the child the citizenship status. We are presuming. So you see here, it is also citizenship by birth. It is presumed that the child was born in Ghana. It is presumed that the parent of the child are Ghanaians, or the grandparent, or either of them is a Ghanaian. That is the presumption. If the child grows and the child is able to locate his or her parents and recognize that the parents are not Ghanaian, then we cannot force the child to become a Ghanaian. No, we can't do that. In this case, the citizenship status of the child has been identified, and the child is not recognized as a Ghanaian any longer. Yeah, so when the child is born in Ghana, a child is born in Ghana, or even outside Ghana, elsewhere, but the child is found in Ghana, and we are able to determine that the child is 7 years or less, then we presume that the child is a citizen of Ghana. Yes. So when we talk about citizenship by birth, we have different categories. Citizenship by birth. You were born outside Ghana, your parents are Ghanaians, you are Ghanaian. And we are not in a situation where you are born here, and for that matter, you become an automatic citizen of Ghana. A child of not more than 16 years. If the child is not more than 16 years and the child is, you want to ask Empire, your hands up, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. I just have a little challenge, or how do I call it, in my mind as far as that law is concerned. A child not more than 7 years found in Ghana is assumed to be a Ghanaian. Now, my question is, who determines the age of that child? How do we verify that this child is 7 years or not 7 years or more than 7 years? How possible is that done?
Good. Asempa, don't forget that we are in the 21st century and technology is highly advanced. If somebody dies 10, 15, 20 years ago, DNA is able to detect that the one who is dead is the father of this particular person. Is that not the case? Hello, Asempa.
Yeah, that's
exactly
the case.
Yeah. So determine your age. It's something that technology can easily beat. 21st century. So it is not an issue at all. It's not an issue. If you can go to, you go to, even now, some health facilities are able can determine your age now. We have, they have something, I've forgotten the scientific term. Yes, I've forgotten the scientific term. They're able to determine your, your BMI, something I've forgotten. Yes. So they can tell you that you I don't know. I'll search and then maybe get back to you later. Yes. So Isaac Nanakusi, you want to say something? Hello, Nanakusi. Oh, okay. So that is it. So computer or technology can easily detect that. Okay. All right. So so that is a child of not more than 16 years. Not more than 16 years whose parents are known. So in this case, their parents are known to be non-Ghanaians. Their parents are non-Ghanaians. So that is the case. So in this regard, it is not a matter of whether the parents are known or not. The fact is that the parents are not Ghanaians, and then a Ghanaian wants to adopt the person. Yes. So in this regard, the child is adopted or considered as a citizen by adoption, citizenship by adoption. So that is what it means. So we have citizenship by adoption. So we can adopt the child, and by virtue of the adoption, the child is considered as a citizen of. Okay. Now let's continue. Then I could see. Okay, so technology MRI. Okay, scan. Good. MIR scan. Good. So thank you very much. Nana Kusi has given me that one. MIR scan. Yes. Kusi, can you tell us more about that? Because I know that it is two different. Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello.
Go ahead. Yes, Elizabeth.
So please, the child who is 16 years, whose parents are Ghanaian, and is being adopted by a different parent, or maybe a different parent.
Different parent whose citizenship. No, I'm not getting.
You said a child who is 16 years. A child who is 16 years, whose parent is a Ghanaian, but is adopted by. So I'm asking whether is he adopted by a different person?
No, what? No, that is not what I said. I meant. I said that
a child. I'm asking that if.
Oh, okay. If the parents.
I'm asking that if he is adopted. If he's adopted by a different person.
Different person. What is the citizenship status of that different person?
So that person,
so we need to determine that. We need to establish that.
So if that person is a Ghanaian, then the child definitely is a Ghanaian. But if it is a foreigner, if it is a foreigner, he is still a Ghanaian.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we see.
Okay.
Elizabeth, once the parent of the child are Ghanaians, the child is a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
So whether the child is adopted by a Nigerian or a Togolese or whoever, the child still maintains his or her citizenship status as a Ghanaian. Yes, but what plus 4 is telling us is that if the parents are not Ghanaian and we want the child to become a Ghanaian, we can adopt the child. But in this regard, the child should not be more than 16 years. The adoption goes through processes. It is not just. All right, so thank you.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Yeah, Kusi, if Kusi is still there, I don't know if Kusi can educate us more about the MRI. Aiba, Jonathan, Aiba.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc, for the opportunity. Please, with the 8 brackets of that of the adopted child and the child whose parents are not found. So you said the adopted child is below 16, who is no more than 16. What of the child that his or her parents are not found?
It says 7. Not more than 7 years.
Okay.
Not more than. Last week I asked you to go and find out why this age bracket. I don't know whether you did that. You didn't do that. Hey, my children. My children look like searching. Okay, so that is citizenship by presumption, citizenship by adoption. So by adoption, the parents are not Ghanaians, but the child is also not, and the child is also not more than 7 years. But a Ghanaian citizen adopt the person. Yes, so a Ghanaian citizen. So the one who is effecting the adoption must also be a Ghanaian. So if you are not a Ghanaian, then you cannot go and adopt a non-Ghanaian and presume that the person is a Ghanaian because you have adopted. No, you yourself, you are not a Ghanaian. So if you go and adopt somebody, you cannot we can't classify the child as a Ghanaian. Just take note of that. Now,
The network is bad. I can't hear anything. Is it only this side?
the
Because
Oh,
yes, I
okay.
can't.
Yeah, we are not hearing say again.
Low battery too, so
That was hello.
yes,
Hello.
is the next.
not
Are you saying he has got low battery?
now.
I said, I think it's like,
Auntie Sheila. Auntie Sheila.
yes, dear.
Are you saying
I can
something?
hear. I'm saying that
So
I think it's the network, and he had low battery too, so
Oh, okay. He's having low battery.
and it was saying that your battery is low.
Okay.
right.
Please, he's trying to talk. Please, let's mute ourselves so that he
You
can. Please, Doc, if you can hear me, your network is bad. We can't hear you. Please readjust yourself.
Woman, just that
Doc, please, we can't hear you, cry. If
woman
you can please go out and rejoin. We can't hear anything at all. Please.
Yes, about 5 minutes
uh,
ago, we've not been hearing from you at all.
Yes.
can
Meanwhile, he's teaching you.
Yes, he is teaching.
Doc, please, if you can hear me, we can't hear you at all.
for the
Please readjust and rejoin. We can't
Please,
hear.
if though it last he cautioned us about calling him, but for this matter, please let somebody place a call through to see to draw his attention. He's seriously presenting, but We are
Yes,
not
yes.
getting him. Somebody should call him.
ɛbɛfa moto.
Ayekese.
Please, is the lecture going on?
No. Waiting for
Yeah,
that.
we are waiting for Doc. I think he's having network challenge.
Okay. Hmm.
abusuafoɔ deɛ ayɛ deɛ bɛsuggest sɛ dɔko ba a ɔma yɛ n'apɔ so ne n'apɔ so na yɛmfa nkɔnkɔkyerɛ exams no na deɛ aka yi deɛ abu aka mu ano no nti ɔbɔ no deɛ ɔma yɛ baabi a yɛnkɔsua.
But if you don't understand, how will you explain if you give you the areas? Uh-huh.
Don't worry, o deɛ ame bɛkyerɛ na deɛ ayɛ yi deɛ.
Let's wait for him. He'll come.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
sir.
Oh, I network. So continue. Let's continue. Let me. In fact, I have changed the device to a different one. So let me continue whilst I make effort to use the previous device to share the slides with you. Okay. So I was talking about citizenship by marriage. In fact, it is one of the types that is usually abused by people through what we call the sham marriage. We say sham marriage. Some people try as much as possible to fake marriage. Yes, they fake marriage with the intention of getting citizenship status. Some people do it, yeah. So it is usual. We see two Ghanaians or a Ghanaian entering into a fake marriage with another person for the purpose of securing American citizenship or British citizenship, among other things. It's something that has been happening. Yes, it's something that has been happening. So, citizenship by marriage, you marry the person, and through a registration application and registration, the person becomes a citizen of Ghana. Now, another time.
Please, do you hear from Doc? I can't hear. I can't hear anything here.
We can't hear anything too. Or network in it. So I na make no. On the my na person.
Yeah. Hmm.
So when he comes, we should just tell him so that he can give us the areas. The rest we will do justice to it. Because looking at the
Please,
way
the
the
one
network.
saying that don't put us into trouble. You know your lecturers. Just keep
Everybody
calm.
know.
Wherever
They are
the air
recording.
blows, we know where to. So please.
I think we can just reschedule it over the week so that we just
But,
use the.
but your voice, can't your voice say it? Whose voice do you want to say it? Your voice, what is your voice doing? You are looking for somebody to say it on your behalf. What is your voice saying? What is your voice doing?
Please, his voice is shaking, okay? So those with the bold voice, please do it on behalf of him.
If he if he
That's not
say it
the
here,
issue.
then he must be able to say it when he's around now.
Okay,
What
the
makes the
man
difference?
doesn't have a strong voice. He has a shaky voice, so please say it on his behalf, okay?
The
Since Madam
things
Gift, you have a strong
the
voice. Why
things he
don't you
has been
say it?
telling ladies, am I the one who has been saying it for him?
Hello. Not mute. Come on. Stop. Hello, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, what are we doing now?
We are still waiting.
We are on a period.
We are in a waiting mood.
Those who have gone to the chapel should begin to pray.
Ma, I'm not you.
And the network is from young Adiciano.
If Victoria is around, please lead us in prayers.
In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
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 Is that all?
Let the network be restored in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Everything is fine.
Mr. Clement, help us with the word of God.
Hey, wonderful.
So, what are we learning today? Hello?
This small girl should be careful.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Doc.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Hello.
Doc, welcome back home.
Thank
Hello.
you. Hi.
As for today, the
All right.
network doesn't want us to learn.
Yeah, but it is a lie. We break it in Jesus' name. All right. So let's continue. I
Amen.
don't know what to do. Yeah. So citizenship by we have dual citizenship. Dual citizenship. Now with dual citizenship, the Ghanaian may be allowed to hold a citizenship of another country or any other country, in addition to his or her the citizenship status of his. This is what we call citizenship. Dual.
Oh, man. I'm the talker, no. No.
Nana, please mute. So this what we call citizenship by that is dual citizenship. So a Ghanaian holding two or more citizenship status. Yes, so a Ghanaian can hold a citizenship of an American So in this case, the person holds two citizenship status, and such a person is described as a dual citizenship holder. Now, the dual citizenship holder, it has status has implications. Now, according to Article 8 of the 1902 Constitution, Clause 2, Article 8, Clause 2 of the 1902 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, a person, no citizen of Ghana shall qualify to be appointed as a holder of an office, any office specified in this clause. So this clause has specified certain offices that dual citizenship holders cannot hold. For example, ambassador of high commissioner, secretary to the cabinet, chief of defense staff, of any service or any service chief. Yes, so inspector general of police, and then customs commissioner, customs excise and preventive service, director of immigration, and then others. Yeah, so these are the offices. These are among the offices that the person cannot hold if such a person has a citizenship by, that is dual citizenship. Dual citizenship. So becoming a member of parliament is also one. If you remember the issue involving the ascent of MP, that is recent. There have been several instances where people, they held dual citizenship, they contested, and later when it was recognized that they hold citizenship, dual citizenship, their position was declared vacant. Yes, and then it was annulled. The election was annulled by the Supreme Court of Ghana. Yes, so in the case of the ascent of MP, in fact, at the point of filing the nomination, he held dual citizenship. I think the Ghanaian citizenship status and then a Canadian citizenship. Now, in fact, he was in the process of renouncing the Canadian citizenship. He was in a process, but the process could not go through at the time that the election was held. Yes, so when the issue was sent to court, the court declared that the position be declared vacant. That is why there was a by-election or run-up by-election after the after notifying the results. Yes, so that is dual citizenship issue. So as a Ghanaian, you can hold a citizenship of any other country. Good. So that is citizenship, source of citizenship in the country. Now, who is a citizen? Who is a good citizen? And what makes somebody a good citizen? So we have qualities of a Ghanaian citizen. What are the qualities of a Ghanaian citizen? One, the person. Hello, there's a hand. Yes. Yes.
Sir, I've heard that there are situations where a president of a country can confer citizenship of that country or maybe a foreigner, depending on circumstances. Can you please explain
Citizenship by
that?
conferment. Yes, citizenship by conferment. We confer citizens to other people who have contributed in an extraordinary way to the country. Yes, so it is known as citizenship by conferment. So if somebody has contributed to the development of the country, to the peacemaking of this country, to other several aspects of this country, such a person could also be conferred the citizenship status of Ghana. Yes, so that is also allowed. Yes, citizenship by conferment. Yes, it is also allowed. Good. Harry, Enim, please go ahead.
Please, is this
Yeah,
stipulated
sir.
in the Constitution?
Yes, the Constitution allows that. Yes, you are welcome.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, what is the difference between citizenship by conferment and that of the honorary gesture?
Yes, there is no difference between the two. Yes, there's no difference between the two. So, it's just an honorary gesture, as you mentioned. Yes. So here, the person per the contributions per his or her lastly, yeah, contribution to the nation. The person can, the citizenship status can confer citizenship status on such person. Yeah, so it's an honor that we offer that particular person. Okay.
Okay,
There's a
thank you.
hand. Lady after your hand is up, please go ahead. Lydia.
Right.
Hello, Lydia after your hand is up, please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Please,
Yes.
so those people, can they hold those positions?
No, there are certain key positions that such people cannot hold. Yes, in fact, there are key positions that are held by true Ghanaians. Yes, something, if the person does not hold, that is, if you don't have descent, let's say citizenship by descent, the fact that one of your parent or grandparent is a Ghanaian, then there are certain key positions that cannot be held by such people. Yeah. All
Hello,
right.
sir.
Yes, madam, go ahead.
Sir, please. When the citizenship is conferred on them, can it be taken back?
Why not?
Or it lasts forever? And is it transferable? So that person's, if the person gives birth, is the child also a Ghanaian?
Ghanaian. Well, once it has been conferred on the person, yes, the child can be considered as a Ghanaian. But in this case, the child must taken through some registration, and then that's application, and then registered as a Ghanaian. You see, when we're talking about citizenship by marriage, or even I think I talk about citizenship by which one did I say? Let me see. Yes, if I'm coming a minute. So if citizenship is conferred on a person, in fact, you see, this one it was done by conferring it on the person, and we make an honor or offer to the person. So in this case, if the child wants to be considered as a Ghanaian, then the child needs to register, because when it comes to such issues, yes, Article 6 clause 2, a child who is born in Ghana or outside Ghana, the child is only a Ghanaian if one of the parent was a citizen or is a citizen, grandparent. So here the emphasis is on descent, citizenship by descent. Yes, so if the Ghanaian acquired a citizenship and that citizenship is not by descent, then the child must apply in order to become a citizen of Ghana. It also relates to the citizenship by marriage. If you marry a non-Ghanaian, a Ghanaian marries a non-Ghanaian, and they give birth. In fact, in that case, the child should not be registered in order to become a citizen of Ghana, because one of the parents is a Ghanaian by descent. So in that regard, the child does not register to become a Ghanaian. But in the case of conferment, because it is not through descent, the child must be registered in order to become a Ghanaian. Okay, good. So if there is no question, I think I can. In fact, please get time and read the Constitution. Get time and then read the Constitution. It is important. It is important. In fact, there are a whole lot of issues regarding citizenship that needs to be done. Okay, there's another hand, right? Ayuba, your hand is up, please go ahead. Ayuba.
Thank you, Doc, for the opportunity. Please, when you were talking about the citizenship by marriage, your network was all that good. So that was the time you
Which
logged
was
out.
not on the network. Oh, okay. So citizenship by marriage, I was saying that a Ghanaian marries a non-Ghanaian. The non-Ghanaian does not become an automatic citizen of Ghana. But if the non-Ghanaian wants to become a citizen of Ghana, the person must apply and then must be registered, apply to be registered as a Ghanaian. And that is when the person can become a citizen of Ghana. So that is what I said about that, non-Ghanaian, through marriage. Yes, and I said that it is one of the means of acquiring Ghanaian citizenship or citizenship elsewhere that is usually or mostly abused by citizens of other countries here. So some people enter into a fake marriage, and that is what we call the sham marriage. Sham marriage. They engage in fake marriage for the purpose of securing citizenship of other country. That is what I said. And I also said that when a child is born to that particular marriage, after the man has registered as a non-Ghanaian man has registered as a citizen through marriage, the child becomes a citizen of Ghana. The child becomes a citizen of Ghana by virtue of the fact that the parents, especially the mother, is a citizen by descent. Citizen by descent. So the child becomes a citizen of Ghana. I also said that once the marriage is announced or annulled, or once there is a divorce, the man who was not a Ghanaian before the marriage but has become a Ghanaian after the marriage, the man shall continue to be a Ghanaian unless he or she unless he decides to renounce his citizenship status. And the child also continues to be a citizen. In case the death of who is now a Ghanaian by registration or marriage, shall continue to maintain his citizenship status unless he decides to renounce that status. That is what I was saying. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Christina. Yeah, Christina, go ahead.
Yeah, Doc, please, good morning.
Good morning, Christina.
Yeah. I'm worried about this provision that we find in our constitution that before the launch of the constitution, any child found in Ghana is a Ghanaian. So I always ask that what criteria will we use, or did the constitution use to detect whether this child living or staying in Ghana is a Ghanaian or is a foreigner?
Good. In fact, we did
Hello.
not say that. Hello, Christina. We didn't say that any child found in Ghana is a Ghanaian before the coming of the constitution. That is not what we said. In relation to, yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. But
So,
if my memory can recall me right, some provision says that any child found in Ghana without parents may be can be classified as a Ghanaian.
Yes. Yes, that's Article 6.
So that's what I was saying. Is it true by parent or by birth? And if by birth, where did we see, or can we give attestation to see that this child was truly born in Ghana, or it was not born in Ghana?
It seems you didn't get what I said in relation to this. I said that, in fact, your question is in twofold. I don't know whether you got it, you understand the question yourself. Because we see, before the coming into force of the 1992 Constitution, whoever was a Ghanaian shall continue to be a Ghanaian. That is Article 6, Clause 1.
Yes.
Whoever was a Ghanaian. And the question is, how did we know? How would we know that Kofi Adwoa-Mensah was a Ghanaian before the coming into force of this? And I said that previous constitutions, we have had several constitutions, and those constitutions determine the citizenship status of every Ghanaian. So if we doubt the citizenship status of Adwoa-Mensah, who was born in 1980, before the coming into force of this constitution in 1993 or 92, if we doubt, Adwoa-Mensah can produce a legal document that indicates a citizenship status in the 80s. Yes. So if I doubt your citizenship status right now, how will you prove it? That is the question. How will you prove it? That you are not a Ghanaian? How will you prove it? Good. Yes. So.
Okay. I'm answered, Doctor.
Good. And then in relation to the child, a child found in Ghana. That is the article Article 6, Clause 3, child found in Ghana. So if we find a child in Togo, the child is not considered as a citizen by presumption. But if we find a child in Ghana and the parents are nowhere to be found, that is when we presume that the child is a citizen of Ghana by presumption. I don't know whether you've gotten it.
Yes.
Yes. When it comes to citizenship, there have been several misunderstanding, controversies, debates surrounding citizenship status. And one, I'm saying, prior to 2016 election, there was this debate that I think when we made the effort to produce, Ghana card, I think one of the requirements was not birth certificate. Yes, and it became an issue. It became an issue. The issue was sent to court, and the court ruled that birth certificate cannot be used to determine the citizenship status of a person in Ghana. Yes, the court ruled. And in fact, people were not happy with this kind of judgment. Why? Why? Because once the person is born, we produce we get him or her birth certificate, and that is what we used as a basic document for securing other papers or other documents like passport and others. Yes, but the court ruled that this cannot be a basic requirement or determinant of citizenship status. Yeah, people did not understand. In fact, one thing that we need to know is that people can use foul means, dubious means, other means to secure the birth certificate of a Ghanaian. Yes, if the person is not a Ghanaian, but uses other ways to get the certificate of a Ghanaian, and we are saying that by virtue of the fact that the person possesses birth certificate, it makes the person a citizen, then we may be heading towards the wrong direction, because the Constitution does not specify that birth certificate makes one a citizen of Ghana. No, it is not stated anywhere in the Constitution. So we need to get that one clear.
Okay, Doctor, thank
Good.
you very much for your insightful answer.
Good. Thank you. Olivia, I'll say once you. Oli?
Yeah, sir. My question is, you said when maybe a man marries, he's not a Ghanaian, and he marries a Ghanaian. So by the marriage, the man becomes a citizen.
Hello.
Good. So if the man divorces, hello, sir. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. If the man divorces and remarry a Ghanaian, does the woman also become a citizen?
That is a critical one. A non-Ghanaian, a Ghanaian marries a non-Ghanaian man, and then there's a divorce. So the man has become a Ghanaian through registration. There's a divorce, and the man, see, when the fact that there's divorce does not mean that the man will lose his citizenship status. No, the man is still considered as a Ghanaian through by registration. So if the Ghanaian marries, the man who was not a Ghanaian but now is a Ghanaian marries a non-Ghanaian woman, through registration, the non-Ghanaian woman can also become a Ghanaian by registration.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Good. Now, question. Good. So that is citizenship. Let me take the last one, then we continue. Ayuba, go ahead. Go ahead.
But assuming that person marries, the question our sister just asked, a man who marries a Ghanaian, and by virtue of the fact that he marries a Ghanaian, got his Ghanaian citizenship, then he divorced the wife and later on marries a non-Ghanaian. So he, by the virtue of his previous membership, he's a Ghanaian, but his wife is not a Ghanaian. Now they give birth to children. Are their children Ghanaians or they are not? Because he is a Ghanaian, but the wife is a non-Ghanaian.
Okay, so he is a Ghanaian, marries a non-Ghanaian, and the woman is not registered as a citizen of Ghana. I think that is your question. And they give birth
Yes.
to children. Why? The children are Ghanaians. It is just like a Ghanaian marrying a Togolese. And the Ghanaian does not register the Togolese wife as a Ghanaian. So the man is a Ghanaian. The woman is not a Ghanaian. They give birth. The child is a Ghanaian because the father is a Ghanaian.
Okay.
Do you
Thank
get
you,
it?
Doc.
Good.
Yes, please.
Good. Let's continue. Yeah. So that is it. Now, qualities of a Ghanaian, qualities of a good citizen. Let me put it that way. Qualities of a good citizen. Yes. Now, good citizens must be loyal to the state. Good citizens must have national pride. Good citizens must be ready to defend the state. Good citizens must also pay their dues or taxes, among others. Good citizens foster national unity and they respect and tolerate the views of others. Yeah, so these are some of the qualities of a good citizen. Qualities of a good citizen. Okay, let us take note of that. Qualities of a good citizen. Now, one thing that we should know is that citizens have rights and responsibilities. Citizens have rights and responsibilities. What are rights? Rights are freedoms and privileges that every citizen of Ghana or a country must enjoy. They are the freedoms, they are the privileges that every citizen of a country must enjoy. Some of these rights are what we call God-given rights, or they are natural privileges that must be provided or protected by law or by the state. Yes, so the privileges like the privilege to live, to enjoy my life, to move from Sunyani to Kumasi, to be educated, to associate myself with any group, a church, assignment. Let me give you this written assignment. Go and search for it. What is the difference? Now, I think you can even search for it right now for me. What is the difference between rights and freedoms? Rights and freedoms. Freedoms are not rights. Rights are not freedoms. Well, right. And duties of a Ghanaian citizens. Yes, so responsibilities, these are duties or rules that the state expects Ghanaian to perform. So as a Ghanaian, the state expects to perform certain rules. The state, so that is it. Now, the constitution has several rights and then freedoms. Examples of these include legal rights. Legal rights. When we say legal rights, we are referring to the rights that protect the individual from unlawful because you are stolen. Until you produce the stolen item, you are not going to be released or discharged by the person. It is unlawful. The person must secure arrest warrant, court warrant to arrest you before the person can effect that kind of arrest. Even the police cannot arrest you without without following the legal means, except under certain circumstances. Yes. Now, the legal right gives the citizen access to the law court, so you can also be given access to the law court. The law court, and then a legal counsel or a lawyer, legal aid. So if you don't have the means to provide a lawyer or counsel for yourself, then it is your right for this. It is the right of the state. So you enjoy that particular privilege. So the state will have to provide a legal aid, and then the state must also provide what we call fair hearing. Fair hearing. Fair hearing. Max, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Yes, please, with regards to the right for the legal something over there. So why is it that the poor are not able to have access to it, but only the rich?
The poor
are not able to, yes, please.
They don't have access to what?
The legal rights over there whenever they
have it, but just that they have not exercised it. They do not. Some do not effect it. They do not trigger it. Everybody has it, but you see, people have the fear that going to court might delay me. Going to court, how will I get money to pay the lawyers, among other things? If you do not have money to pay the lawyers, go to court. The court will provide legal aid at the expense of the nation and not at the expense of your pocket. Max.
Okay.
Good. Or you have somebody who was not provided that legal aid.
Some of the cases that I have seen or have witnessed, it's like who needs car, they will not come to your aid.
You see, the rich that you are referring to, they rather go for private legal practitioners. And that is expensive. They go for the private, so they want their preferred lawyers, just like school, education. You have private school and then you have government school. Government school is free of charge. Private school is not free of charge. So if you say I'm a poor and I don't have the right to educate my children because it is expensive or because it is not provided, then I don't understand what you are saying. If you don't have the means to pay elephant school fees, then you send your children to government school, which is free. So in the same way, when it comes to the legal section, the government, it is your right to be given legal aid, legal counsel. When you cannot afford, if you can't afford a private one, the government provides that one free of charge. So you can try it and let's see. Get a case, go to the and then.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Lydia, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, please, I want to say that, in fact, every citizen of Ghana have the right to free and fair hearing. But looking at things, most Ghanaians are ignorant about this. Most of them don't know. As my brother is saying, the poor will say that, as for me, if I even go, the case will be foolish one, so I won't even go. So because of this ignorance, the poor sees that only the rich can, are entitled to the legal rights.
Yes, you are right. You are right. And that has been the general perception among Ghanaians. That has been we have that kind of perception that, oh, anything belong to the government is inferior. I might not win the case if I allow the government to offer me that kind of legal counsel. So I'm going for an experienced lawyer, legal counsel for my case. So, and they charge. Yes, they charge. So that is the legal right of Ghanaians. Legal right of Ghanaians. Okay, good. Now, let's continue. So legal rights. So every Ghanaian has, but we don't exercise it. You don't exercise it. Yeah. So, so that is it. Then we have what we call political rights. So these rights allow the individual to participate in any political event in the country. Political events in the country, it allows the individual to belong to any political party. Yes, you can't force me to belong to MPP or NDC or CPP or PPP. You can't force me. You can't force me to belong to any political party. It is my choice. It is my freedom. Yes, it is my freedom. I asked the difference between freedom and then right. So if you get the answer, just draw my attention, then you can continue. Yes, so the 1992 Constitution grant that all citizens shall have the right to form or join any political party of their choice. Yes, so that is political right. Then we have economic right. Economic right allows the individual to work under safe, under healthy, under secured environment. Yes, that is economic right. So your environment, your working environment should be safe, should be secured. That is why in some communities, when conflict, civil war breaks out in the community, because teachers are not secured, they abandon the classrooms. They go and stay at home because the working environment is not conducive. Yes, it's not conducive. Yeah, so the individual must work under safe environment, conducive. It must be secured, among other things. And then the individual must receive equal pay for equal work done. Equal pay for equal work done. That is it. So, but you see, for this right and others, we have some exemptions, we have some limitations, which we are going to discuss. Yes, the individual, so individual with the same qualification, doing the same work, must have the same pay, the same salary, without discrimination. Yes, the individual must also enjoy leisure, rest, as well as reasonable pay on holidays, public holidays. So if you are on holidays, you are on leave, maternity leave or study leave or whatever, you must receive your pay. Yes, study leave with pay. So you must receive, not because you are on vacation, you will be denied that one. Yeah, Ayuba, go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
Ayuba.
You may okay, Doc, thank you. You may mention that rights are classified into two. You mentioned the legal rights, you mentioned political, and you continue with economic rights. So, which of the two are the main one?
Did I say two? Rights are classified into two.
Yes, I've seen that on the heading somewhere. Before that is in the legal rights, it was stated on top there. If you can scroll up and we'll check some.
I don't remember saying rights. Well, I don't know. I don't know where I said rights are classified into two. Well, I don't remember. But what I remember is that some rights, we have natural given right, God's given rights, and then we have rights that are given to the individual, which is not God-given rights. So I don't know where. Yeah, are you still there? I've gone back. I don't know. Have you been able to detect where it is? I don't think something of that sort. Yeah, so they are not classified into two. But in fact, if we want to classify them into two, then we can say that we have natural right, God-given right, right that is given by God, and then we have right that is given by man. If that is the case, then we can classify it into two. But aside that, we have economic right, we have political right, we have legal rights and others.
Okay, and thank you, Doc. Yes, please.
All right, good. Christina, your hand is up. Christina. Oh, Lydia, your hand is up. Please go ahead. All right. Because of time, I don't want us. Anaya, Dukura, your hand is up. Please go ahead. Dukura.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yes.
The legal right. People are really ignorant, or they've seen one too many a case where, depending on who you are having the issues with, you end up losing the case regardless of the fair hearing and that stuff.
In fact, one thing that well understood. One thing that we need to understand is that, you see, the fact that you have run to court does not mean that you win the case or you have won the case. But the fact that you are first to go to court doesn't make you a winner of the case. No, you need to justify. You need to defend your case well. That is why the law says that nobody is guilty until the person has been found to be guilty by a law, a court of competent whatever jurisdiction. Yeah, so if you are unable to defend your case, somebody takes your money, you saw the person taking the money, you send the person to court, but you are not unable to prove that the person really took your money, then it doesn't mean that the court will rule in your favor. You need to understand all these things. All right, good. Any question? Let me continue quickly. Let me go to the yes, Christiana. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have I have given my suggestion on the difference between rights and
yes. I'm reading it. That is why I'm going.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So Lydia, the text box, Lydia, they are the same place. Well, they are not the same place. Lydia, check it again. Emmanuel Asempa said it was a political ruling. Political ruling. I don't know. Whether he is talking about the assign-off issues, and he said it is political ruling. Asempa, if your question is in relation to assign-off issue, then I don't think it was a political ruling, although politics has eaten into every sector of our.
That issue that the court ruled that we can't birth certificates cannot be used to gain citizenship. It's a political ruling to
Okay,
best.
that is what you are referring to. Asempa, see, I always want I always want to take an objective position devoid of politics. So, in fact, that is why I'm not into politics. That is why I'm not attached to any political party. But you see, the case is, it is not stated anywhere in the Constitution that birth certificate is an evidence of citizenship in Ghana. It is not stated anywhere in the Constitution. That is one. Two, people use different means. Even certificate, first degree certificate, people use different means to acquire first degree certificate. That does that make them a graduate or graduate of University of Ipswich if people use such means to get a certificate? Asempa, hello, Asempa, are you there?
I'm here.
If somebody use other means to get a certificate, first degree or second degree of UCC, the question is, does it make the person a graduate of UCC?
If it has been established that the person used a foul means, then the person needs to be a graduate. But if it has not been established that the person used any foul means, then once the person has the certificate, the person is a graduate.
Good. We see, no. You have to be very careful about that. Once we have not established, you are talking about once we have not established. So in this regard, it raises some questions. So the Constitution says that if your parent, one is a Ghanaian, then you are a Ghanaian. In fact, if we make it open that whoever holds a Ghanaian birth cert is a citizen of Ghana, then we are going to create problems for Ghana. We are going to create a situation where non-Ghanaians will use dubious means to acquire the birth certificate of Ghana for the purpose of holding certain key positions to the disadvantage of the nation. That is it. You see, it is in the interest of the nation, not the interest of any political party, not the interest of any other person. Because, for example, the sham marriage that I talk about, people use fake means to secure documents, and the U.S. government has put some restrictions on such situations. Yeah, so if we are not careful as a nation, if we are not careful and we make it open, we make it relaxed that once you hold birth cert, you qualify to be a Ghanaian, then we may be heading towards a situation where people who are not Ghanaians, and people use other means to secure birth certificate. People who are not Ghanaians will secure the birth certificate of Ghana, and then will come and hold key positions as IGP, chief of staff, as this and that in the country. That is why the Constitution states emphatically that one of your parents must be Ghanaian. So that is it. We must be very careful. Yes, and some of these issues must be discussed devoid of any political affiliation. Okay. The children are Ghanaian. Stephen Della said the children are Ghanaian. Okay. Yeah, so I think that question has already been answered. Harry Ennin said, please, assuming I'm a foreigner from Lebanon who has stayed in Ghana for 3 years. So I qualify to apply for citizens of Ghana. Yes, you can apply for citizenship of Ghana. Yes, as for application, you can. Parliament will have to examine it and then give you the. Go ahead. Christiana said, right is a legal, moral, social claim that a person is entitled to. It is something protected by law. For example, right to education. Freedoms refer to ability to act, speak, think without unnecessary restriction. The difference is not clear. We'll come again. Because freedoms are also protected by law. Rights are protected by law. I want the difference. Thank you very much for the effort. Lydia, Doc, please. They are the same. It's referring to the conferment and the honoring citizenship. Thank you. Okay, so they are not the same, Lydia. There's a sharp, there's a different, start different. But the birth certificate is mandatory for acquiring passport. Yes, it is mandatory for acquiring passport. Yes, but the passport is more authentic than the birth certificate. Why? It will be very difficult to answer. Yes, the birth certificate is we see, that is why I'm saying that some of these documents do not actually clearly define the citizenship status of Ghanaians. So we need to be very careful when looking at these documents as a citizenship status of Ghanaians. Yes, if we're able to prove, yes, if we're able to prove, as Empa mentioned it, yeah, so if we're able to prove that the person is a Ghanaian, why not? The parents are Ghanaians, why not? Aiba, rights and freedoms are like three sides of a coin, but with some key differences. Rights are entitlement, just claims that are protected by law. They are like guarantees that you are entitled to, such as right to education. Freedoms, on the other hand, are about absence of constraints or restriction. They are like ability to make choices. Okay, good. So I think the meaning is coming here. It's coming a little, but not clear. Yeah, so freedoms are a matter of choice. So freedoms are choices, act without undue interference. So freedoms, you can, it's a matter of choice. It is protected by law. So it is a matter of choice. So you choose to exercise your freedoms. You choose to exercise your freedoms. But rights are not choice. Rights are not, so rights are mandatory. Yes, so for somebody to live, it is not a choice, a matter of choice to live. You don't choose to live. Yes, so that one is right. So you cannot say it, living as a Ghanaian is a choice. So I'm taking my life. No, it is against the law, and that is right. Yes, but moving from Kumasi to Accra. Today, Sunday, you can decide to move from Ghana to let's say Kumasi to Accra or whatever. That is a matter of choice. You can decide to join any political party. So joining political party is freedom. Movement is freedom. Association is also freedom. But to live as an individual is not freedom. It's a right. All right, good. I've seen some hands. Immoral. Yes, Moro. Oh, okay. So please, that is where the difference comes from. So to movement is a freedom. Association is a freedom. Worship is a freedom. So you have a freedom to worship. It is not your right. Yes, nobody can force you to move or to say travel from. You have stayed in Cape Coast for so long. Travel to your hometown. Visit your hometown frequently. That is your freedom. You decide to do that, or you have stayed in a country without joining any political party. Find one political party and join. That is your freedom. You decide to join political party. You decide to join any religious group or not. That is your freedom. Yes, but right to vote is your right. To vote is your right. To live as a Ghanaian is your right. To pay taxes for the development of the country, it is not a matter of choice. So payment of taxes it forms part of the rights that you enjoy as a country. Good. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. So we have what we call economic rights. So I was talking about economic rights. Yes. So right to own a property as an individual group, among other things. So these are economic rights. Social rights. These are rights that allow individuals to access education and then public facilities. So you can public libraries, public buildings, among other things. You have the right to do that. And then it also accords special rights and protection to children, women, disabled, vulnerable in society. Social rights. So you have rights of women. When the Constitution specifies all these things, and we are going to look at all these things in the Constitution. Right to children. We have children's right right for the sick, and among other things. So these are what we call the rights. Now, some of these rights are God-given. I've already mentioned them. Some of these rights are God-given. So God gives such rights, and such rights that are God-given are what we call fundamental. They are the fundamental for the survival of the individual. Before the individual can enjoy other rights, like right to education, right to legal aid, right to work under safe and then conducive environment, the individual must acquire a basic right. And that basic right is what we call the fundamental human right. An example is right to live as an individual, because if you don't have life, you cannot enjoy education, you cannot enjoy public facilities, you cannot enjoy others. So these rights are what we call human rights. They are those rights that are not entitled, conferred on the individual by the state, but rather they are the rights that the individual is given. So we have right to life, among other things. Good. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the rights. If I don't know if there are questions. If there are questions, if there are no questions, then I can continue. Okay. Good. So now back to the Constitution. You go to Article 13 plus 1 plus 1. Now, one thing that you should note is that these rights must be protected by the state. These rights must be protected, and for that matter, they are enshrined in the Constitution. They are enshrined in the Constitution. But one thing you should understand is that these rights are not enjoyed absolutely. These rights are not enjoyed absolutely. What does it mean when you say absolute enjoyment of the rights? They are not enjoyed absolutely. Okay, let me see. Yes, Max, go ahead.
Meaning it has a limitation.
It has a limitation. That's a limitation.
So where someone's right begins, that's where someone's right ends at.
Exactly. Good. So what it also means is that so the same Constitution that offers, that grants your right, that gives your right, the same Constitution also has also placed some limitations on the right of the Ghanaians. So Article 13, quickly let me share it with you. Yeah, so no person, so that is what Article 13 is saying. No bet. Oyoko said, I support Asempa. It was a political reason. Yes, you are entitled to your views. Good. Now, so we have what we call protection of the right, and then their limitations. Good. Now, so Article 13 plus 1. No person shall be deprived of his or her life intentionally, except in the exercise of the execution of a sentence of court. Yes, in respect of the criminal offense under the laws of Ghana of which he has been convicted. Yes, so your right to life is secured. Yes, nobody shall take, no person shall be deprived of his life. But the same Constitution places limitations on this right. Now, let me ask you, what is the difference between human right abuse, abusing human right, violating human right, and then limiting or curtailing human right? What is the difference between the two? Yes, what is the difference between the two? Human right abuse and then human right limitation. Yes, so you can text your responses in the text box. Okay, so Max, go ahead.
I think with the human rights abuse, it's the infringement of the rights of individual.
Okay.
And they curtail it, meaning give not to give total rights to the person, but you take some from the person and you limit or restrict the person's what right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So the human right abuse, depriving the persons from enjoying his or her right, which is not based on the Constitution. Yes, so where the right of the individual is limited unconstitutionally, it is not based on the Constitution, then that amount to human right abuse or violation. But when the right is limited and the limitation is based on the Constitution grants that we limit your right, then that one is human right limitation or curtailing the right of the individual. That does not amount to human right abuse. Let us take note of that. It doesn't amount to human right abuse. So when we say human rights abuse, we are talking about situations where the individual's right has been violated, which is not based on the Constitution. But curtailing the human right, it is based on the Constitution. Let us take note of that. Yes, so if your right is taken from you illegally, unconstitutionally, then let me go to Kekeli. Kekeli, go ahead, your answer.
Sir, please, so
yes.
In this one, where do we place curfew?
Good. So curfew is based on Constitution, it's based on law, it is legal. Yes, so the court can declare curfew. So that one is human right limitation. We limit the right of the individual. Yes, right and freedom. So right to freedom of movement is limited because the court has ordered that, or the court has put restrictions on movement within a certain period of the day. That is what it was human rights, and that is human rights limitation, curtailing the right of the individual, curtailing the right of the individual. Yes, so take note of that. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, all these concepts or issues have been incorporated into or integrated into the social studies curriculum, because I've already mentioned that social studies so far the best subject that cut across all spheres of life, that provides a fertile ground for learners to pursue higher degree in several areas. After this, you can go into law, go and study law. Yes, the social studies now we are looking at law, and we are laying your foundation for law. Yeah, so it is something that is that should not. Okay, so thank you. So the foundation is laid. So please, good. Good. So let's continue. So that is for right to life. So right to life can be taken away from you if you commit a treasonable offense. So the court can sentence you to death by hanging or by shooting or whatever. Yes. Now, so clause 2 of Article 13 says a person shall not be held to have deprived another person of his life. Take note of that. In contravention of clause 1, if the other person dies as a result of lawful act, if there is a lawful act, what do we mean when we say lawful act? In case there is a war, yes, there is a war, and through the war somebody dies. Yes, it doesn't mean you have taken the person's life. If the other person dies as a result of the use of force to such an extent as reasonably justified in a particular circumstances, for the defense of any person from violence or for the defense of a property. If the police wants to defend a property, you are defending yourself. Yes, you are defending yourself from, or your property from, destruction by other people, and in course of the defense, you take somebody's life. You take somebody's life. In fact, the court will have to judge. The court will have to prove. The court will have to judge and find out. You have to prove to the court that you were indeed defending your property. In this case, you will not be considered as somebody who has taken another person's life. Or in order to effect arrest, if the police, yes, please, madam, go ahead. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, because I want to ask that what kind of property are you protecting?
Oh, property. Every property is a property. Your property is a property.
So
Oh.
if it is
You are protecting it. legally, these things must be done legally. Yes.
In that case,
it must be done legally.
Okay.
So everything must be done within the community. Yes, Christiana.
Hello,
Christiana,
sir.
go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I have a question. Does this clause includes medically caused death, or if a doctor or a medical officer intentionally kills somebody?
Yes, in fact,
Can we
all these
consider as
things we should be able to prove it. So if you think that the medical officer kills somebody deliberately, intentionally, then you should be in a position to prove it. If you're able to prove it, then the person has violated, abused the other person's right and must be taken on by the law. Yeah. So if you're able to prove it, yeah, medically the person dies, somebody dies as a result of negligence on the part of the doctor. Yes, in this case, you can take the person on for taking or denying or depriving another person his life or her life. You can take the person on, but you should be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Take note of that. That is the underlying word, beyond reasonable doubt.
okay?
Question. Before I continue, question. Yes, so Emmanuel Astempa, birth certificate is not a proof of Ghanaian citizenship according to the Supreme Court ruling, but Ghana card is a proof of citizenship. But birth cert is one of the documents used to acquire Ghana card. Where is the agreement? Purely political. Okay. Salome, Doc, please, is your wife or husband your property? Hey, Salome, this question there. My wife, hey, my property. Let's leave it for nature to answer for us. Say, God, your hand is up. Please go ahead and then answer. Ask your question.
Yes, sir. So to that, if someone comes to my house to come and steal, then I have a licensed gun, I can kill the person, right?
I'm saying go and kill the person, oh, please. Don't go and say that the lecturer says go and secure and register your gun. Whoever enters your house, kill the person, which I kill. Having said that, please. You can't. Please take that. The word is that no person shall be deprived of his life. You can't deprive anybody of his life. So even if you are defending yourself from an attack, from an armed robber, and you kill the person, you have to prove to the court that this was the situation. So you cannot just say the person was coming to attack you, the person was coming to kill you, and I killed the person. But you need to justify. You need to prove beyond doubt. Yes, you need to prove beyond doubt.
So,
if that is not the case, then people will go around killing. Yes, Madam Jack. Elizabeth, go ahead.
The armed robbers that have been attacking people, killing them, are they able to prove?
Who
if they send them to court? I'm saying that the armed robbers that attack people.
Yes, the police is able to prove. Yes, the police is able to prove. I think some of these armed robbers, they confess. They have been confessing. And in most cases, the weapons that they hold, they keep the items among the stolen items that they have. All these are used as evidence against them. All these are used as evidence against them. So they are never discharged. Yeah. Jackie, your hand is up. Please go ahead. You are welcome. Jackie.
So please, with the doctors killing people, there's a medical condition that requires doctors to take the life of an individual who has been suffering. If you go to the hospital with like a chronic disease and they can't find solution to your problem, or they've tried every medication and you are still suffering, it's in their code of conduct. They have the right to take your life. However, they will do so with your permission. That is, yes.
With your permission.
Yes, with
That's
your permission.
the mercy killing.
They can kill you, but some, yes, but they can kill you. And with some, they need the permission of your family members. They need their consent to they taking your life for you, to ease you of the burden. Yes, I know of this
I think
mechanism. Maybe
she's talking about the mercy killing.
Killing. Okay. Mercy killing. But
Mercy
most
killing.
what the doctor do
Most
is that they
family
will
will agree that they should
just
kill his
in most cases, what I know is that the patient is charged. Just go home, and if something happens, but few doctors
go
will
and
refer you
die.
and just go home. Yeah, and then
they have
continue
an
with your
injection they will
something
give.
happens. You
Go
said
and
They
die.
have some drugs.
Go home and die.
I guess they have some drugs they inject when your family was sick. They have drugs they inject, and sometimes if they will just take and they will suppress you of oxygen, and then you will die. There are different types
wow.
of pills
Oh,
you
what?
go up to the pain in the bed, and it's accepted, legally accepted. So if you take them to
Oh,
the so if you are not being asked and a different family member is being asked and be consent, you can take the life of the person with or without your knowledge. So they need one close for either the husband, the wife, the mother to consent, or the individual themselves can request the doctors taking their lives.
all right. Okay.
So
Yes.
That's what
yes,
they say.
sometimes a person is on life support.
Hmm.
Sometimes the
Okay.
person is on life support, or the person has practically become, let's say, a vegetable and is in
Hmm.
means of response. And then there are instances where the person who is an organ donor, that's
Hmm.
maybe when I die, my heart should be given this, my kidney should be given to that. So sometimes depending on those
Okay.
circumstances,
Okay. In
that's
fact, I don't know
mercy.
whether that is effective in Ghana here or not, but I need to get more about that. Good. But thank you for the education. It's better. That is better. Thank you very much for that. Somebody can also. Yes, let me go to the textbooks again. Isaac Nanapisi, according to the Supreme Court ruling, hey, something you are interested in this birth cert issue, pal. According to ruling by the Supreme Court of Ghana, a birth cert certificate alone is not considered conclusive proof of citizenship. Okay, I think that is what the court said. Conclusive. It is a source of document for establishing nationality based on lineage, but it is not the parentage that determines citizenship. The court has stated that a birth certificate is not sufficient on its own. Sufficient on its own for establishing identity and citizenship. And for documents like passport, it requires additional steps like guarantors. Yes, so for definitive proof, a person's lineage, having a Ghanaian parent or grandparent must be established through legal means. Okay, so that was it. Kweku Atta, Doc, due to network challenges and locations, I mostly missed vital information. So give out your slides to cover mixing information. Thank you. For the slides, today our discussions are based on the Constitution, and the Constitution is not my slide. It is out there. I asked you to search for one. So, Kwekwata, kindly search for the Constitution that I asked you to search, because today all my discussions are based on the 1992 Constitution, which you already have, because I've already asked you to download copies from online. Thank you very much for understanding me from that perspective. Okay. Yeah, so if the police want to effect arrest, they are arresting an armed robber and the person dies in course of shooting, or the armed robber engages the police in gun exchange, and in course of that, the armed robber dies, then it is not considered as being deprived the armed robbers their right. So let us take note of that. Salome, Johannes, kindly make your submission. Yes, Salome.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
I asked the question whether your wife or your husband can be your property. And then you said, let's meet that charge. Yeah, we are not, this course, I know we are not doing the course for only exam sake, but as an educated people, we are building upon ourselves so that any place that we get to, we can be discriminate from the uncivilized ones.
Yeah.
So if that be the case, as we, those who are on the platform, shouldn't take it as your husband or your wife is your property. So if he or she does something that you don't like, you will torture the person, discriminate the person, and then deny the person of something, because each other has rights and also freedoms. So we should take note of that on how to control our temper as an educated, literate people.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Very much. Yeah, you are right. Yes. In fact, you can't just lay your hands on your husband or your wife and then go and punish you. Yes, that amount to what we call. You said.
Is the men who have been beating the women? Oh.
Are you sure? Some of the women, they beat their husband. They beat them, so don't look at it from that.
Don, it's not only beating. Some women also provoke a lot.
Some women,
they easily provoke their husbands. So it's the two parts. Yeah, you can't intentionally provoke your partner like that.
Hey, but if the person provokes you, the Lord is allows you from beating them. So once you lay your hands, your wife can cause your arrest. Once you lay your hands, the person provoke you. That is why you are learning social studies. You have to tolerate your wife. You have to tolerate them. Just tolerate. Tolerance is the key. Don't lay your hands, or else you find yourself in an rented apartment that you don't pay for. So please, let us take note of that. Good. Yeah, so every person shall, then protection of the personal liberty. Personal liberty is also a right. So every person shall be entitled to his or personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his or personal liberty except in the following cases. I have my personal liberty in execution of a sentence or order of a court in respect of criminal offense of which he has been convicted. So you lose your personal liberty when you commit an offense. In execution of an order of a court, punishing him for contempt of court, that one also leads to what we call personal liberty. You lose it. For the purpose of bringing him before court, in the case of a person suffering from an infectious or contagious disease, so you lose your personal liberty. Yes, you are prevented from going out if you have this contagious disease. If you remember, during the COVID-19 era, some people were quarantined, and in course of the quarantine, they lost their personal liberty because of the contagious diseases that they had. Yeah, so you lose your personal liberty under some of these conditions. Yes, somebody who has unsound mind, that person is also quarantined. A person on drug addiction, who is addicted to drugs, a person addicted to drug or alcohol, others, all these are people who lose their personal liberty. So let us take note of that. For the purpose of the purpose of the education or welfare of a person who has not attained the age of 18 years, so among other things. So it goes on and on and on. I will leave the rest for you. A person who is arrested, restricted, and detained for the purpose of bringing him before court. Yes, such a person also loses his or her liberty. Yeah, upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed or being about to commit a criminal offense. So if the person is about to commit a criminal offense, such a person also loses personal liberty. Let us take note of that. In fact, once you lose your personal liberty, in fact, there are certain rights that can be enjoyed, but others that are deprived. Once you are also imprisoned, you are in prison. You are not restricted from enjoying every right. No, there are certain rights that can be enjoyed. Right to freedom of movement, you can't exercise it because your freedom of movement is curtailed once you are imprisoned or one is imprisoned. But your right to education is not restricted. It's not curtailed because you have prisoners who have acquired degrees whilst they were in prison. Right to work is curtailed because you are in prison. So there are several of these issues. You need to take note of them. You need to take note of some of these things. Okay, good. Okay, now right to dignity. So human dignity. So the dignity of all persons shall be inviolable. No person shall, whether or not is arrested, restricted, or detained, be subject to torture. Let us take note of that. This is more important. Yes, and in most cases, some of these security personnel, when they arrest somebody, then they subject the person to torture or other criminal, inhuman, degrading treatment or punishment for the purpose of eliciting or soliciting the truth from that particular person. No, it is against the person's rights. So whoever is arrested, detained, the person shall not be subjected to cruel or torture or inhuman treatment, degrading treatment, or any other condition that distracts or is likely to distract the person from his dignity. A person who has not been convicted of criminal offense shall not be treated as a convicted person. Let us take note of that. What it means is that once the person has been accused of committing a crime, the person cannot be sent to jail, or in prison. That is why the police will keep the person in police cell, police custody for some time until the case is or until the person is convicted. So we need to take note of all these things. A juvenile offender who is kept in law custody or detention shall be kept separately from adult. So you can't keep children and adults in the same custody. Let us take note of that. No person shall be held in a slavery or servitude. You can't force somebody to work for you. You can't force somebody to work for you. It is against the law. Yes, it is against the law. You cannot keep somebody or somebody in slavery. No person shall be required to perform forced labor. I've mentioned that. Yes, so forced labor is defined here. Communal labor organized by the chief, assemblyman of your community is not a forced labor. Let me make that clear to you. Jackie, Johannes, please go ahead.
So with the first point under the protection from slavery and forced labor, no person shall be held in slavery or servitude. So in the olden days, those who were selling off their children to forced labor to pay for their debts, are they doing what is legal or illegal?
Yes, their act would have constituted violation of human rights today. But laws do not have retrospective effect, so they are free. We can't go and take them on because they stole their children into slavery. At the time of selling, the law was not there, so they are free now. So laws do not have what called retrospective effect. Doesn't go back. You committed an offense in 1990, and 1992, the laws have been put in place, and we say, okay, because you committed the offense in 1990, let us go back and then take you on. No, it doesn't work that way.
So what if the person is still serving the from the slavery? Because there are people who are still paying debts that were being owed in the late early 90s.
Oh yes.
Late.
If they are still doing it, then we can affect the law. We can affect the law in that regard.
Okay, Doc. Thank you.
You're welcome. Discrimination. No person shall be discriminated. Everybody shall have equal right before the law. Yes, a person shall not be discriminated against on grounds of gender, color, race, origin, religion, social, economic, political. So if I am a political party, I belong to CPP, PPP, NDC, MPP, and because of that, you deny me job opportunity, then you are violating my right. Yes, if I'm a woman and I'm coming to secure a job in a transport company, I say I can drive the caterpillar, the excavator, and you say, no, you're a woman, I'm denying you. No, it is against the law, because everybody should have equal opportunity before the law. Yes, so discrimination means to give different treatment to different persons attributable only to their respective descriptions by raw, place of origin, among other things. If you say I'm from Volta region and because I'm a Voltaian, you are going to deny me a job opportunity, then you are discriminating against me, which should not happen. But don't forget, all these rights that we are mentioning, there are limitations, because I've mentioned the limitation to the right to life, right to personal liberty, limitations, human dignity, limitations, discrimination, limitations. Nobody should discriminate against you. Yes, but if you are coming for an employment, if you want to be employed, recruited into the army, and you are from a Fanti or an Enzima, and you don't possess the requisite qualification, and you are discriminated against, you cannot go about saying that you were discriminated because you are from Enzima or whatever, but because you do not hold the requisite qualification. So Low battery, please charge. Requisite qualification is one of the restrictions. Yes, please go ahead with your question, Alfred. Alfred.
Doc. Yes, Doc. Please, at times when these policemen, when
So,
they arrest you, they may torture you in attempt to solicit vital information from you. So in doing
Alfred.
this, are they right? Yes, boss. Doc, I hope
Hello,
you can
Alfred.
hear me now. Doc, I hope you can hear me. Doc. My network.
Yes, the battery need cool.
Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Doctor is experiencing low battery.
Here you go ahead.
Hello, Alfred. Go ahead with your
Yeah,
question.
Doc.
Yeah.
I said at times when these policemen, when they arrest you, in attempt to solicit vital information from you, they may tend to torture you. Are they right to do that?
They are not right to do that. They are not right to do that. Yes, they are not right. Yes, Jackie.
Doc, but
Jackie.
I think it's in their job description that they can use force, not
Yeah,
excessively. They can
they
use a
subject
little
you
bit
to
of
all
force.
sort of and
It's in their job description to use a little
reasonable
bit of
force.
force to extract.
Reasonable. The
Yes,
term
reasonable
is
force.
reasonable.
Yes, to extract information. So
And that is not
they
what
are torturing the person. They are supposed to use forces that would not leave marks either physically or mentally on the individual.
Hello, I think I watched this
so
on
that
the
is not what
police,
the constitution is talking about.
the police
That is not
station,
what the constitution is talking about.
the police
Yeah.
TV station. They were educating, they were giving education on these things. According to them, the
Okay.
police is
Yeah.
supposed to force you when you are trying to prove stubborn. When you don't want to go, that's where they force you. And it's not all the cases that the police is supposed to pick you up. You yourself, you have to give them the excuse that they should go. You come by yourself.
This is
When
not a matter of fact.
When you don't comply to what you said, that's whereby they will come and force you. So it's like we the
My
citizens,
question
sometimes
is,
we don't know our rights. That's why they do
my
what they do.
question is,
So please, one
boss,
person at a time. One person.
my question is, this is not in an attempt for the policemen to arrest you. At times, they may suspect that you will be the very person to give them the vital information. So, in attempt to inquire or to get that vital information from you, they may subject you to all sort of torture and then be in attempt to just get that information from you. So in doing this, are they right to do that in attempt to get information from you and then they subject you to torture?
All right. Okay. I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer your question. So you see, the constitution says don't use torture, cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment. That is what the law says. In fact, you see, all these things we must be very careful when we want to relax it. That's why I was talking about the birth set issue and others. If we allow the police to use torture to elicit or to whatever find out the truth, then we may also be heading towards the wrong direction. Recently, there was a man who was wrongly jailed 34 years, and later they discovered that he did not commit the offense. In fact, when the man was being interviewed, he said that the police tortured him. They treated him they tortured him to say the truth. So they used torture to demand the truth, which in reality was not the truth. The man wanted his freedom. Yes, he preferred being jailed than to be tortured. So he lied and said he committed the offense. He lied because the police used torture. That is why we say, no. How would you know that the torture will elicit the right responses from the alleged or whatever, the supposed criminal? How would you know? Yes, so the law says do not torture, do not use cruel means, degrading means, inhuman treatment to elicit responses from or the truth from criminals or alleged criminals. Yes, so that is my response, Alfred. Alfred.
Yes,
So
Doc.
that is it.
You have answered it
Yeah.
perfectly.
So let me continue. But today, as for today, your break will go a little bit later. So your break will be I will leave the break to you so that you discuss on other issues. Kwekuata says someone attack you and in the process you kill the person. Is it a crime or self-defense? Is it a crime or self-defense? Yes, it is self-defense. It is self-defense. It can only become a crime when you are unable to defend yourself. Yes, when you're unable to defend yourself. So, no, but the suspect also have the right to remain silent throughout their trials. Yes, the police use that word. You have the right to remain silent, or else whatever you say shall be used against you in the law of competence, whatever. Yes, the person has the right to remain silent, but it doesn't mean that you can curtail the person's right to freedom of speech. Yes, I have the right to remain silent, and I also have the right to say something. So if you are capable of using what I say against me in court, then go ahead. Yes, the fact that I've said something, the police is coming to arrest me. I don't have the right to say something. I have the right to say something. But what the reason why they usually say you must remain silent or whatever you say, yes, if you say something bad, then the court can use that one against you. But if what I'm saying is not against the law, they can't use it against me. We need to understand that one. Yes, let me go ahead. Esther says, if the court had charged someone of murder, please, is there any means that person can be released if there is a change in government? If a change in government, presidential pardon, I think presidential pardon or amnesty, you can be released. Okay, so I think I've answered all these questions in the chat box. Okay. We are ending very soon. Let me go to other. So privacy, protection of privacy or home. Yes, every person has the right to own property, either alone or in association. No person shall be subjected to interference with a private home. Corresponding communication, among others. Yeah. So nobody shall be subjected to interference with the privacy of his home. So you cannot interfere with the privacy of my home. You cannot enter my premises without my permission. It is against the law. My correspondence communication. If I'm chatting with somebody. Yes, my communication, and you hack my line, my email, you hack it, and you be reading my message. It is against the law. It is also against the law for the man to read the text message of his wife or the wife to be reading the text messages or the WhatsApp messages of his husband. That is what the law is saying. Yes, it is invasion of the person's privacy. Yes, it is invasion of the person's privacy. It is also against the law to take a picture of me or to record me without my consent. You invade my privacy. So I'm chatting with you and you are recording me, video recording or audio recording without my consent. It is against the law. So, but where the communication poses a threat to national security, in this case, that privacy could be violated. Where your property, your house, you have housed or you have hosted criminals, or you are keeping drugs, among other things, then that right to privacy could be denied. Good. So it goes on and on and on and on and on. So That is it. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, any question before I continue? We are going to close very soon. We are almost done with whatever we are doing. Now, one thing that you should also note is that, hello, please, are you there? Are you there? Yeah, you are there. Okay.
Yes, sir, please, we are here.
Iba, go ahead, please. Go ahead, Aiba. Aiba.
Thank you, Doc. With regard to the scope of recording and all that, so assuming let's say a police can you hear me?
Is this from Aiba? Yeah, your network is so terrible. Kindly reset your microphone and come back because we can't hear you. Okay, Alfred, your hand is up. Go ahead. Alfred. Yeah. Okay. Alfred. Okay. What from this? Okay, so Lydia, so please, Ayuba, you can text your message. I will read. Lydia, after man and his wife message reading the dog, it should be normal because according to the Bible, we are now one since each of us have left our parents as we become one. Well, if that is what Lydia is saying, then let's allow that. Jackie, go ahead. Your question. Jackie. Okay, so
Doc, please, I was just looking for clarification on the police issue.
Okay.
With them using the phone. So, let's say you are being tagged as a criminal, or you are being tagged for an offense. Maybe you don't commit, but you forcefully because they were using torture. After torturing or other things, can you sue them?
Oh, why not? You can. Similar cases have happened. Yes, in Ghana and elsewhere, you can sue them for wrong judgment. You can even sue the judge or the court. Let me put it that way. You can sue them for wrong accusation. Yeah, you can sue them. Okay. All right. Good. So, so please, I'm leaving the rest for you. Go and read. Go and read. Go and read. Now, so make sure you read. Go and read. Now, let's look at another important thing under citizenship. Then we close. Now, citizenship education. That is citizenship education. You see, you are being educated on several of these issues. You are being educated. So the citizen must know. The citizen must get to know some of these things. So the process of educating the citizen about their rights and responsibilities is what we call citizenship education. When we say citizenship education, it is about, you see, citizens have rights, citizens have responsibilities. How would they know their rights? How would they know their responsibilities? They must be educated. So that kind of education that is made available to the citizen to enable him or her enjoy his or her right is what we call citizenship education. It's what we call citizenship education. Yeah, so citizenship education. Good. Now, so citizenship education simply means the development of desirable attitude, inculcation of desirable attitude in the citizen to enable them become responsible citizens of a country. That is what we mean by citizenship.
You heard.
Kindly mute your microphone, Lydia. Okay, so that is citizenship education. Now, the question is, how do we promote? How do we? What are the approaches to the teaching of citizenship education? There are several approaches to the teaching of citizenship education. Yes. Now, so we're going to look at some of these approaches. So, for citizens to know their rights, to have adequate knowledge of their rights, responsibilities, and to be able to apply them, they are expected to be educated. Therefore, there's a need for what we call citizenship education. And citizenship education simply means the development of desirable attitude, values. Development of desirable attitude, values, desirable skills, among others, to enable the citizen become productive participant in his culture. That is what we mean by citizenship education. Now, there are several approaches to becoming or to training a citizen. One is what we call exemplary approach. Exemplary approach. When we say exemplary approach, what we mean is that the teacher must set example of ideal citizenship for learners to emulate. That is all about exemplary approach. So as teachers, if you want learners to become good citizens in the school, we must set examples. So there are rules and regulations governing the school. The teacher must abide by the rules and regulations governing the school so that learners will emulate that good examples of the teacher. So the first approach to citizenship education is what we call exemplary approach. Please, if you have questions, let me know. The second approach is what we call the experience service approach. The experience service approach. Experience service approach. It is based on the idea that experience is the best teacher. In this case, learners must be made to experience certain things. They must be exposed to certain things. They must be made to have experience of certain things. For example, they can be sent to the Parliament House to observe how parliamentary proceedings are carried out, decisions are taken, how parliamentary debates are undertaken. They can also be engaged in debate in the classroom, discussions in the classroom, for them to experience how some of these citizenship issues are also all about. Then we have academic discipline approach. When we say academic discipline approach, learners must be taught certain citizenship-related issues while they are in school, like you are being educated on the Constitution. So whilst you are in school, you are learning some of these things so that when you get out of school, you complete. It will not become something new to you. Yes, so that is academic discipline approach. Learners must be given the skills, the knowledge while they are in school. These things must be taught while the learner is in school. That is what we call academic discipline. Closely related to academic discipline is law-related education. So here, while the child is in school, the child must be taken through law issues, legal issues. Yes, so the concept of constitution, rule of law, separation of power, democracy, among other things, while the child is in school, so that when the child completes school, the child will get to know most of these things, and these things will not be different to the child at all. And then the last one is what we call the community involvement. In fact, community involvement is closely related to experience service. Community involvement, learners must be involved in community activities that relate to citizenship. So when it comes to voting, learners must be made to vote for their own leaders while they are in school. The school should not impose prefect leaders on the learners. Learners must be involved in voting. When it comes to communal labor in the school, learners must be sent to the community to be to partakers of the communal labor in the community. So here, it is the process of involving learners in civic-related activities for the purpose of enabling the learners to become good citizens. That is community involvement approach. And the last one is institutional school reform. This is where the school makes a reform. The school put in place structures that will enable learners to follow or to become good citizens. So the school must offer good example of authority in an attempt to inculcate democratic citizenship in learners. Yes, so hello. So if we want the learners to become good citizens, we want our learners to become good citizens as a school, then we must put in place mechanisms that will instill citizenship in learners. For example, the school should not impose citizenship leaders on the learners. The school should also not rig elections. You see, in some schools, when there is election for the election of school prefect, the school has its teachers have their preferred candidates, and students might also have their preferred candidates. So in most cases, at the end of the election, the election is rigged in favor of the candidate of the school, which is not a good practice. If we do that, then we are teaching the learners that when they complete and they come to the country and there's a national election, the nation should rig election in favor of one particular candidate. This is not the best. All right, so that is it. So that brings us to the end of citizenship. Let me go to the textbooks and then see. Anaya Dukuya, for your own peace, my sister, just don't. Okay. With regards to recording someone without the person's consent, does that holds in one's attempt to obtain evidence or proof to an issue? Yes, you can record me. You can if you record me without my consent, it is a crime. It's a crime. But if you are recording to make a case against me, then it is an evidence that you are using. That one, it is not a crime. That is technically. Ayiba, I mean, doing a crime or of invading a person's privacy. Yes, it's a crime to invade on a person's privacy. As Empa said, if you listened very well now, Doc made it clear that someone was jailed as a result of torture by police. 2001, 2003, NRC/ACDR case where assets were confiscated. The ruling was overturned in 2003, and the owner went to reclaim their assets. The Chachuchi Kata case in 2008-2009, the ruling was overturned in 2016. Yes, so there were instances where Supreme Court ruling were overturned, meaning the earlier ruling was wrong at the seat. Yes, so it is just a matter of change in government. Okay, but you see, a situation where we just overturn ruling because a new government has come is also wrong. And a situation where we witch hunt political activists, people are jailed because they belong to certain political parties, are also wrong. And I think it's as a result of some of these things that is why whenever there's a new government, rulings are overturned. Because if you politically witch hunt your political opponents, then you jail them because they belong to different political parties. Then when their government come to power, they will overturn the ruling, and that has become the order of the day. So we should not play with our judicial system. Yes, and in Ghana, I see some of these things at times I don't understand. If the person belonging to your political party commit an offense, the party feels reluctant to prosecute the member who belongs to the party. But if political opponents commit same or similar offense, then we are quick at prosecuting that particular person. So if that continues to be the act that we prosecute our political opponent, then when the opponent's government comes to power, then the ruling would definitely be overturned. That has been the order of the day. So thank you. Nana Isaac Nana Kusi said, Asempa, over to you. Okay, so Katie said, Doc, please, can we get slides on approaches to syringe? Why not? What are friends for? I'm going to send everything to you. Yeah. Okay, good. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? All right, good. So that will introduce us to our last topic for the day, which is quite short. Good. Which is quite short. Yeah, Max, you want to please go ahead. Go ahead, Max. Max, go ahead.
With regards to the privacy issue, right now, between Anas and then Nantechi, has Anas breached that particular law, or was doing it just for?
Well, I cannot give that judgment, and since I do not have much knowledge about the issue, the recordings and others, I think the court is in a better position to make that particular judgment. But if Anas recorded Nantechi, I don't know if Nantechi was engaged in any criminal act or yes, and for that matter, Anas wanted an evidence to
substantiate his claim.
Prosecute whatever. in that case, then we can do that it was right. But if you wanted to indicate or whatever, yes, let me just act as if I am. And let us be careful about some of these things. You cannot force somebody into committing crime, and after the person has committed the crime, you turn around to accuse the person. No, it is the person has not committed any offense. So if you come to me and say, yes, I'm coming to doctor, yes, I'm coming to entice doctor with money, I'm putting money in envelope. Yes, I'm coming to give it to him for him to effect changes in my resource. And once you are giving the money to me, you are recording all these things. It is a premeditated. It's something that you have, you have planned in advance for some of these things. You set me up. In this case, the court is yes. So in this case, the court is likely to set me free. Yes, if you bring such cases before the court. Yes, and you will even find yourself in trouble. Yes, so you try to bribe the policeman and then you record the policeman to implicate the policeman. Now it is the person has not committed. It is not against the law. Let me put it that way. We need to justify it, or maybe you are coming to Cape Coast from Kumasi to Cape Coast, and I ask you to take some parcel from Kumasi, which is in an envelope, white envelope, money, about 10,000 or 100,000 cedis in an envelope, to take it from somebody, bring it to me. And when you took it and you came to me, to my office, when you were delivering the whole thing, you recorded, video recorded secretly. And then you went ahead to say that I bribed doctor with this amount of money. Or when you came to the office, I asked you to open the envelope, count, and let me see whether it is up to the 100,000. And when you were counting, you were recording all these monies, you were recording all these acts. And at the end of the day, you bring it to the public domain that I came to his office, I bribed him, this is the money that I gave, it is this amount, I asked him to do this and that and that. You need to be able to convince the court, prove beyond doubt that yes, indeed, the person was right. Yes, in fact, so in the case of Nantechi and Anas, I do not have much knowledge about that one, but if indeed that was what Nantechi was doing, that has been his act, then it is against the law. But if Anas use other means as a way of putting Nantechi into trouble, then that is a different case altogether. Okay. Any questions so far? Good. Now we are looking at assessment. Assessment is social studies. So all that we have done, what do we assess? Yes, when you say assessment, yes, assessment, it has been defined severally. Yes, so this is a process where we interact with our students. So I'm looking at it from the classroom perspective for the purpose of obtaining and interpreting information about the other person in terms of their knowledge, understanding, skills, and other things. So that is what assessment is. So if you want to get feedback, progress report, if you want to improve learners' learning, if you want to improve their retention, then we engage them in assessment. Now, when it comes to assessment, we have several ways of gathering such information for assessment. There are several ways. One is what we call the objective test, and then two is what we call the multiple choice, objective test and an essay type test, sorry, objective test and essay type test. Have you done any course in assessment? Let me find out from you. Have you done any course in assessment? Please, have you done any course in assessment? Yes. Okay, good. So I don't think I'll spend my time on this. So essay type and then multiple choice items. Yeah, so essay type and then the objective type. Objective is called objective because the scoring is objective. If the student gets it right, it is right. If it is wrong, it is wrong. Multiple choice, essay is somehow subjective in scoring because at times your handwriting can influence the examiner. Your name, yes, your name can influence the scorer. Your performance in one test can also influence the scorer. The mood of the examiner can also influence the scoring, among other things. So That is basically about that. Yes. So for assessment, I don't think I'll put much emphasis there. All right. So thank you very much for your support, for your contribution, for your suggestions throughout the lecture. That brings us to the end of the
Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you for thanking me. Thank you for thanking me. Any question, any comment, any suggestions? Okay. Good. So if there's no question, then exams.
No. I would like to know if you guys supposed to learn.
Areas to learn.
Let's mute, please.
The areas to learn are everything that we have covered. To cover those areas, yeah, for your own sake. But for exams, the assessment. For exams, I'm not concentrating on assessment, so let us take note of that. I don't think I've said any. I just want you to have a brief knowledge about that. You have covered that one in assessment in education. So most of the questions will come from that area. But for my questions, exams, assessment is out, and then so that is it. But others, at least you have fair idea about them. Good. Multiple choice. Read about what we did with regards to the citizenship constitution. I can give a scenario. Yes, a Ghanaian man marries a Nigerian woman. They give birth. There's a child, and the man dies. What is the citizenship status of the child or the woman? Yes, so we can give similar questions in that regard. Or which of the following qualities make a social studies teacher a competent teacher? We have it there, and then we talk about I'll talk about a lot of them. Okay, so essay type, we can talk about 5 principles of using multimedia and rational resources. Yes, we can ask you questions. What qualities make a good social studies teacher? We can talk about that. What explain 5 qualities of a good citizen? We can also talk about that. So these are some of the things that we ask. They are not difficult. I know that you are my children, so I'm not going to give you difficult tasks, but just relax, pay attention to the questions. The fact that I said they will not be difficult does not mean that you are not going to read. Please read, learn, hard. Thank you very much. Let me address the following questions. Emmanuel, let me go to Emmanuel. Ima, quick one. Quick, Ima. Okay, Ima is off. Jackie, go ahead. Jackie.
Sir, please, with regards to the rights.
Yeah, thank you, Doc. Thank you so much.
With regards
Thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you've taken us through. So I'm just concerned that the quiz 1. Do we have any units to focus on our attention on, or is
right.
gonna cut across everything?
Quiz 1 is unit 1 and 2. Quiz 2 is unit 3 and 4. Unit 1 and 2, unit 3 and 4. Quiz 1, unit 1 and 2. Quiz 2, unit 3 and 4. That is all.
Okay, all right.
Good. Emmanuel, no, Jackie. Jackie, go ahead.
Okay, so with regard to the rights and responsibilities of an individual, I have seen a hashtag on social media which is Justice for Ochanya, where a little girl was raped by the auntie's husband, not once, not twice, couple of times, and the girl is dead now. The parents took the issue to court, and because the auntie and then the husband were rich, they were able to pay their way throughout. That is how I'll put it. And now people who are not family members have reopened the case. They have the case and they have sent the issue to court for it to be ruled all over again. And I am asking now, with this, as the person or the one who was involved with the incident is no more, even if justice is served, how is the dead person going to benefit?
Oh, that one, justice must prevail. Whether the person is alive or not, justice must prevail to serve as an example or deterrent to other people. Yeah, so it is not, the outcome is not going to serve the interest of the victim. No, when rulings are made, the rulings do not serve the interest of the victims alone. It serves the interest of the larger population. So even if the person is not alive, the ruling can serve the purpose, the interest, serve as a deterrent to other people. Yeah, so I think it is in the right direction. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Ashika. No, Sheila. It's Sheila. Sorry, Sheila.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir,
No,
please,
sorry.
the question. I didn't hear the second one. I only heard the first one. Five
No,
principles of multimedia.
there was a case that was ruled in. Oh, okay. So you are interested in the exams. Okay. So 5 principles of using multimedia instruction.
Yes, please. I didn't
I'm
hear
not
the
saying it
second
is
one.
coming.
No.
So that should not be your Bible, please. 5 principles of using multimedia instruction.
Doc, please, your line is
That is
breaking.
Principles
Doc,
of using
line
multimedia
was
instruction.
breaking, so- oh, my cooler. Doc,
That is what I said. But I didn't say it's coming.
your line was breaking, so we didn't hear you. Please.
Yes.
Please, your line was breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Doc, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? All right. Any
Doc, please,
questions?
the third one.
Victoria.
Hello, sir. Please, thank you. Please, I want to ask if it's possible we get the slides right away so that we can put our notes together. Sir, I'm speaking now.
It's not possible to get it right away, right now. Maybe in the evening, around the evening. So I'll send them to you in the evening, not now. Okay.
Onto it.
Okay. Yes, Christian, Alfred.
Yeah, Doc. Mine is on the areas to read for the exams. When you were reading or you were saying the network was breaking, so we didn't hear anything.
Oh, I said that areas, quiz 1, quiz 2, unit 1, and quiz 1, unit 1 and unit 2, quiz 2, unit 3, unit 4, exams unit 1 to 4, unit 1 to 4, excluding assessment. That is what I said.
Okay, Doc. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any further question? Sir God, it wasn't a test. That was what was going on in the Black Star. I'm sure he did it for evidence seeking. Okay, so he's referring to a nurse. Zachariah said, please, Doc, kindly share the slides. Yes, I will share what I've prayed for. I'm going to share. Harry Enning, God bless you, Doc. I have personally enjoyed your lecture. You are superb. Oh, thank you very much. You're also superb. Harry, you're also superb. Come and continue with social studies. Your education should not end. All right. So thank you very much for being part of this lecture. My telephone open, my WhatsApp open, my email open. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can email me. I'm ready. You are learning something, reading something, and you don't understand, call me. WhatsApp me. But at times I prefer the WhatsApp to the call. Yeah, because for WhatsApp I can respond at any time. But if I'm in the middle of the meeting, at times it makes it difficult for me to respond to your calls. Yeah, so thank you very much. But if you want to call, please, I have already mentioned MTN Pay for Me is out. 394 is out. I said, call me back is out. So take all these things out. Alfred, your hand is up, please.
What about what Apple pay for me?
Who is doing that? Pay for me and call me back.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Zachariah said, thank you. Your lectures is just one in a million. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Salome,
We'll miss
you want to see your face? Oh, you want to see my face? Hey, I need to put on my. I want to
Yes, we want to see your face.
Camera. Are you there?
Yes,
We are here.
I'm
fixing my camera. This is very. Yes.
Dog, you said.
I said I'm fixing the camera, so you'll see very soon. Let me see.
What
Okay,
a
okay.
celebration.
Okay, so that is the face behind this.
Wow.
Okay.
Hey, dog.
Wow,
seen you.
handsome man.
See,
That's too much.
You have hidden
Too
your
much.
face
Mr.
so that you
Handsome.
see my face. I hear.
Dog, you have done
All right.
well. You were able to
Good.
tolerate us a lot. God bless you.
Bless you too.
So Asempa will buy malt for you, okay?
Oh wow. Why not you, but Asempa?
Asempa has been very troubling in the class.
Say, I'll buy you champagne.
Yeah, for me, I'll not give you malt. I'll give
Bring
you
it to
two lunch. I'll treat you to lunch.
Oh wow. You.
Asempa, I hope you can hear.
All right.
Dog, we miss you.
Please, all the ladies.
Enjoy
the rest of the day.
After this.
The ladies that are worried
Same to you, dog.
Are you fair? If you are fair, you don't have
show
a
your
problem.
face. Show your face to Asempa so that you can decide.
Norbert.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
No, but you to show your face.
We should ask for
Hello.
areas. What
I
he
said the
add
ladies
for
want
himself?
Asempa to show their faces.
Norbert, show your face.
Hey, Ahasu, did you wear here? Yes.
Questions in Unya, sample questions na another question. Unya, your page in the way. Oh, but there's one come on you. Mentishly. Move out to chatbot in my about you.
What are you saying? Sheila? Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm fine, lad.
Who's it saying?
This is sample question. Mentio. Mufambra, Hana, Missumitra Kakara.
Oh, dear, to Wasi, remember why?
I'm down well. I am speaking tree.
Tell me the mitri pa o mitri pa.
Media some who cannot minti asio.
Uti asi,
mitri pa.
Tell me I told me I join your page.
Yeah. Sharp.
Norbert.
Yes, who is calling
Sister
Norbert?
Lydia Kele, you're aware.
I want to see your
Sister Lydia has
face.
been calling you long ago.
Hey,
Please
Sister
respond to her,
Lydia, you
please.
want to see my face? Okay, I'm coming. Let me set my camera well.
Afa.
I don't know. No, I don't know. No, but you know.
We'll
It's
look for you at
speculation.
graduation.
Why?
What's it?
Afa, we'll take you to voter series.
No.
When you are there, you
Are you not
see
a Cameroonian?
I am.
No, I'm a pastor like girl.
I don't
Are
fully
you my for no ya tamaka dwawa. Ponyo no tamaka dwawa. I'm a fofo.
He is demanding for you to
Yeah,
show your face.
I'm a
Pressure.
fofo. Kuke.
Lydia, call me.
No, you.
Afa.
Okay. I don't have your number. You call me. I don't have your. Is that the?
I'll put it in the chat box so that you pick it there.
Stop. Make what the
Eyo, asempa tokwenya, asema tokwenya. Bego dogbe mi peje. Mi peje. Imama gachi Jose, mawa farenu, mi peje, quick.
Lydia, I hope you've seen it.
So you put your number in the chat. You.
Bring Lydia to the page. Bring her to the page. Lydia, come to our page.
Lydia, have you seen the number? Call her. But you are Omaronian, so I know. She's a Maronian. She's a Maronian.
Oma.
Yes.
Oma. She's an Oma. Old Maronian.
Oh, I see. Oma.
Ashika is my senior sister.
Is she also an Oma?
Ashika is not Oma, but a senior sister. Lydia is Oma.
Ashika.
Yes.
Ashika.
Ashika,
Okay.
Stephen has been asking us to call him.
Hajia, Ashika.
Ashika, your in-law, your disappointed in-law has been calling you.
Lydia, will add you to our platform, okay? Since you're an Oma.
All right.
Oh, yato mijo.
Yeah. We are signing out.